Who? Did I scare ya? If I didn't, then, well, good, because you're gonna need to pay attention. Because today, we're gonna be doing a guide for Phrolova. Now, I'm not really a experienced guide maker. This is practically my first guide into creating anything for any character on any gacha game. But I hope you'll bear with me, and I hope you'll learn something from anything I teach you here. For one, let's start with Phrolova herself, rather than themes that she requires, etc., etc. Phrolova, she is quite unique. First of all, she has no resonance energy. You can see this on the bottom right. My ultimate doesn't have any sort of circly bar, like for, say, Raji here, or this other character here, right? Don't got it. You see this pink bar here, down there? Kind of filled? Here, there is nothing. There's no even grayed out portion of it. Phrolova doesn't have one. Instead, if you want to ever proc Phrolova's ultimate, you have to fill the bottom gauge right above the HP bar. Phrolova has 6 resonance notes down here that you have to fill. Every 3 attacks you do, the 4th one can be either a left click or a resonance skill. This allows her to basically gain resonance or musical notes, in a sense, in the bottom gauge there. Every 4 auto attacks, and the auto attacks have to hit, by the way, every 4 auto attacks or every 3 auto attacks and an E will lead to about 2 notes. Phrolova also can press E into either an auto attack or an E to gain another 2 notes. Once you get 6 notes, you can hold down left click and basically will release a giant AoE attack that will deal massive amounts of damage, especially if you do it in succession of someone's resonance skill, like, let's say, her. Phrolova, after that, after the big AoE attack hits, she will then have her resonance ultimate available. Then she can cast it. Once she does, she cannot use any echo abilities. She can't move. She can't use grapple. The only thing she can do is control her echo. So, because of that, it is really, really recommended to use your echo skill either before you even start getting the musical notes in the middle, right? Or right after the burst, or right before the burst. You could be picky with it. There's not really much of a difference, since Phrolova still does a lot, if not most of her damage, after her ultimate is cast. After Phrolova's ultimate is cast, then you can switch up to your next teammates. Now, before I talk about that, I do want to mention that most of Phrolova's damage is resonance skill damage. So, any echoes that you build with her, any echoes, any items, in a sense, artifacts for anyone else, will require mostly crit rate, crit damage as main substats. But if you ever get a 3rd substat that is a damaging one, make sure, or hope to God, it's a resonance skill damage bonus. Still, if it's not resonance skill damage bonus, attack percentage will work just fine, and attack flat will also work just fine. So as these dead stats as well, like resonance liberation. Now, as for the set, it doesn't really matter in which order, but make sure that any 3 echoes is Dream of the Lost, which will basically increase Phrolova's crit rate by 20% and echo skill damage bonus by 35% at almost all times, since Phrolova will always have 0 resonance energy. And also make sure you have the Havoc Eclipse sec on the 2-piece. Again, it does not matter in which order you really have this for any of the 3 costs and 1 cost echoes, but do make sure the 4 cost echo is the Nightmare Hectate one, since Nightmare Hectate not only gives a 12% havoc damage bonus, as seen here, but also a 20% echo skill damage bonus. This echo skill damage bonus not only increases her normal echo skill damage bonus, but also plays into her ultimate, since in essence, not only is she using resonant skill energy damage to do her starting damage with her whole burst, but after she uses her ultimate, echo skill damage bonus also goes into play, as well as if you have the premium team like Antarella and Rochia, you can do even more damage, since with their 2 echoes, it's not that it will carry on, but they will proc Phrolova's ultimate. That's one thing to know. But now we can actually move on to like the whole team thing. When it comes to the team, right, a best free-to-play team would either be these 3 supports, right? There's only really 3 supports in the game you can use. Baiji, if you somehow don't have, right? If you don't have Verena. If you don't have Verena or Baiji, but you have Shorekeeper, Shorekeeper is something technically you could use as a support, but is not as good as Cantarella, who is really good as not only a sub BPS, but as a support who can heal. Cantarella is definitely the best in slot for support. Second best would definitely be Shorekeeper, then Verena, and then last place would be Baiji. Now for the sub DPS, technically you can use Tauki. Tauki especially is good since she boosts resonant skill damage by 38%, which helps Phrolova out a lot in terms of damage. And it's even better since if you want survivability, Tauki is really good with defense, so Phrolova can do quite a lot of damage off-field, not taking damage, while Tauki is basically tanking everything, and, well, it's just crazy, honestly, with Phrolova being off-field. That's one thing I forgot to mention, that when Phrolova's off-field and her ultimate is active, she will still be doing damage. Her ultimate still will be doing damage with her Echo, but she will not be able to take damage because she's off-field. So the only character ever being able to take damage is your current on-field character, which is why Tauki is not only good for boosting Phrolova's damage, but she's also really good for survivability if you can't survive in a fight, which a lot of people can't. It can be quite complicated at times on exactly what's best, but if you're a terrible player and you're new at the game, Tauki is really good, not just because she's a free-to-play option, but because she's really brain-dead easy into not dying. I have seen people who literally have versed level 90 characters as level 40 Tauki and still win because they cannot take damage as her. It's insane. Now, that's the best free-to-play team. Tauki as a first in slot so that you build her Resonance ring up, which is in the bottom left next to the health bar. It's called the Concerto Energy. Build that up. Once you get it built up, make sure you cast your Echo skill before you start or after. Then switch to Phrolova. Do Phrolova's Resonance song notes. Get that up to 6. Use your burst. Use your Echo skill before the burst. After the burst, doesn't really matter. Then cast your ultimate. Then at that point, your Concerto energy should be full, and you should be able to switch to Baiji. So then you can get her Resonance energy up, get all that up, get her Concerto bar up, then immediately switch back to Tauki. At which point, it is very integral to know that right now, when you look at Phrolova in the middle right, you can see these 6 little circles. Those little circles there, right, they basically count for each song note that Phrolova has that will do a big attack, right? It'll start at 6 colored ones and then slowly go down until it's empty. Once it's empty at that exact point, if you're at the level that you have enough Concerto energy to switch, it'll be a good time to switch at that point, since once you switch, Phrolova will use her second ultimate technically. In a way, it's basically a intro skill, enhanced intro skill, just like Kalcharo, except it's way better than Kalcharo's intro skill, since it quite literally does a intro skill big AoE burst that basically explodes everything. And then you go into that, and you can do your whole cycle all over again. It's amazing amounts of damage, even if you don't have the premium team. If you have the premium team, it's quite a different story. Well, not too different. It's more so that when you start with Cantarella, you're just looking to build Concerto energy. So, same kind of progress issue, blah blah blah, all that. But Phrolova will not be doing the most damage here. I feel like in the premium team, Phrolova counts for maybe 1/3 or a half of the damage dealt, because this premium team actually does almost equal amounts of damage all throughout, is why it's so broken and OP in the first place. Because not only does Cantarella do damage since he's a sub DPS / healer, but Rochia is also a sub DPS / booster. The premium team is quite crazy, not only because Cantarella heals, but because Phrolova has a skill that enhances heavy attack damage. Rochia has a skill that enhances Havoc and basic attack damage, which, by the way, Phrolova is Havoc and heavy attack damage. Since that, Rochia benefits off heavy attack. Rochia boosts basic attack and Havoc, which Cantarella loves basic attack damage and loves Havoc damage. Then Cantarella boosts Resonance skill damage and Havoc damage, which, of course, as stated before, Phrolova loves that because she loves Resonance skill damage and Havoc damage. So the premium team is quite literally broken, and I feel like
It tastes good.
too powerful. Way too powerful. Especially with Phrolova's in-house weapon, which I don't have, and nor do you really need, but it does boost your damage by quite a shit ton. There's nothing to really speak about it when it comes to the weapon. When it comes to Phrolova's weapons, the best thing you could do is get Cosmic Ripples for a 5-star. For a 4-star, there's not really too many options you could do. Anything that could give you extra damage is fine. You don't really need to min-max this if you're using 4-star weapons anyways. When it comes to 5-star weapons, there's not many options to min-max either. Unless you have the String Puppet 5-star weapon, which is Yinlin's 5-star weapon. Then it might be a debate on whether to use Yinlin's 5-star weapon or Phrolova's 5-star weapon, but really the difference in damage is minuscule and doesn't really matter. I mean, this team is Phrolova herself is so broken. It just does not matter. Honestly, the guide here that I made is just so I can help some people out who are new to the game. If you want like a more in-depth explanation on how to play Phrolova exactly and seeing like an optimal play, like a optimal loop, I could post a video on that, and I could post a video on that while she's fighting, or while I'm fighting a boss, so I can showcase how you would play the premium team and how you would play the free-to-play team. I can do that. But that's it for this video. I hope you liked what I had to say for the guide. I hope it helped some people. I hope that, you know, maybe made some people laugh and smile at whatever stupidity I said. Again, it's my first guide video. Don't really know too much on what I should say, what I should show. I do know that I should do B-roll, but I'm not talented enough in editing to really know how to exactly do. Anyways, thank you guys for watching the video. If you liked, please like the video. If you want to say something on how I could make a better guide video, or how I did, or if you enjoyed the video, please comment. I would love to see any comments you guys have. And if you want to see some more content, feel free to subscribe. I try to stream daily, and I'm gonna try to post daily as well. So anyways, hope you guys enjoy your day and have a good time, okay? Bye bye. Bye bye.